All right, in chapter 3, it's extremely important that you set your homework up nice and organized. I'm looking for detail, neatness, organization, and of course, most important, accuracy. But if you don't set it up this way, I will return it back to you in Google Classroom and ask you to redo it. So my suggestion is to do it right the first time. So I'm going to help you with the setup. We're going to start with chapter 3.1. Please make sure you label it. And then at the top, go ahead and put your name, hour, and date. Okay? So we have that all organized and set up, and we can find it easily. Also, it would be a good idea to put the numbers that you're going to be working on. So let me give you an example. There's a reason why the red line is over there. Keep your numbers and your problems flush to the red line. So I'm going to start off with question number 1, and I'm going to think that there's like an imaginary line down here. So eventually I'll create 2 columns to save paper. The problem is to use the distributive property to write each expression as an equivalent expression. So it'll be 6 times the quantity of 80 plus 1, like that. And it's asking you to write an equivalent expression. As soon as you heard me say 6 times the quantity, your brain should have said, oh, she's talking about the distributive property. So I'm going to be using the distributive property in this problem. When you do this, I want you to think about for every one thing inside, you make 2 lines. And if it's addition, the addition just drops down. And what I'm going to be distributing is what is on the outside, because you heard me say 6 times the quantity of what is inside. So what will go on this lead line is the leader. So I'm distributing the 6 to the 80. So 6 goes there and 6 goes there. So 6 times the 80 plus 6 times the 1. So this is one way to write the equivalent expression. Then you're going to drop it down to 480 plus 6, and then drop it down to 486. All of chapter 3 will require a lot of paper and some more time. But the more you do it, the more practice, the better you become at it, and the faster you become at it. So the nice part about the math is just taking a problem like this and narrowing it down till you get your final answer, and then I would box it in so you know what to check. Now, I do realize that you would look at this and go, well, why wouldn't I just use the order of operations? Well, because we already learned the order of operations, and now we're working on what's called the distributive property. So then I'm going to skip a line, and then I'm going to write number 3, because I'm just doing the odds. And it's a problem like this. The quantity of 300 plus 6 times 4. So it's really 4 times the quantity of 300 plus 6. Just because the 4 is in the back doesn't mean anything. I could easily move it into the front if that's your preference, but like I told you before, you should be able to learn how to read math from right to left to right, top to bottom, bottom up, and diagonally. So I look inside and I have 2 things. For every one thing inside, you're going to make 2 lines. If it's addition, I drop it down. Who's my leader? Is whoever's being distributed on the outside will go in the front lines. So I have 4 there and there, and then 4 times 300 plus 4 times 6. So I'm going to get 1200 plus 24, which is 1224. So it's as simple as that. So those are numerical expressions. I want to move on to when we're doing more of the algebraic expressions. So as you continue on, just remember, okay, you're going to skip a line and you're going to go with number 5. You need approximately 1, 2, 3, 4 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, skip a line. And then you go on to number 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, skip a line. And you go on to number 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, skip a line. And you go on to number 11. So you should be able to fit a substantial amount of problems on one side. And then if you want to get a ruler to perfect this, you're going to draw a line going down. And then I'm going to come up here and make my second column. And this time I'm going to start at question number 13, which is 7 times the quantity of y plus 11. So now I have an algebraic expression because we have variables involved, but still the same process. It's 7 times the quantity, so I know it's the distributive property. For every one thing inside, it gets 2 lines because I am distributing the 7 to everything inside. It's going to be 7 on the lead lines times, because it's 7 times the quantity, so 7 times y plus 7 times 11. Simplify this, you get 7y plus 77, and that's as far as you can go because those are unlike terms. This has a variable involved and this is just a constant. So you can't go any further than this. You were just simply rewriting this algebraic expression to an equivalent algebraic expression like this. And then I'm going to go ahead and skip a line and go on to number 15 and continue down the page. If I need more room, I'm going to turn the page and do it on the back side in the same process. So remember, you have to set up your homework this way. You don't have a choice on this. It's super important.